Hey there guys, welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. So, this is going to be a little bit of a violation of the way I usually do things. Tomorrow, or actually, no, I guess tomorrow, it's 1 a.m. right now, so it is technically Wednesday. On Thursday, I actually begin my trek over to New York. I'm going from Seattle to New York. It's going to take me 4 days to get there because that's like a 40-hour drive, and you better believe I'm not doing that in one go. Oh my god. So, I'm going to have a limited ability to record during that time. The first day will be impossible because it's 12 hours, and so I'll end up leaving at 8 in the morning and get there at 8 at night, and I'll be exhausted by the end of that. After that, it should be more doable because then it's only like a 9 or a 10-hour drive each day, but still. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and pre-record a whole bunch of these episodes. I usually don't like to do that. I usually like to, post, let you guys respond, and then post again, that way we can have a little bit of a discourse. But I think it's better to be able to get content out to you on a regular basis, and I have no reason to think that will happen if I don't, record them now. So I have to almost treat this like a vacation, even though it's not really a vacation, it's more of a cross-country gruel fest. The other thing I wanted to talk about, because someone this is really just where I want to respond to a whole bunch of stuff in comments that I should have just made comments for, but it was a big enough question I thought I'd just go ahead and address it in the video. One, someone was super nice and actually is like, oh, but if you're moving, what's going to happen to the Eternal Sonata and the Suikoden Bless plays that you're doing with that one guy? And it really makes me happy that people are asking that, because I'm enjoying Let's Play a lot. So, the answer is, I'm not entirely sure. One of three things will happen. My great hope is that there is a service out there. Oh god, I should have prepared. It's it basically allows you to stream, but they have some sort of technology that lets the stream get processed, encoded, and pushed through in like 2 seconds. It's amazing. It's very, 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 very fast turnaround. So my hope is that I can play Eternal Sonata, have Kyle, watch the stream, and we can talk about it, and just record that. Yeah, obviously, if he's in Washington and I'm in New York, then there's no way that we can actually play together. But that should still let us get through it, because I definitely do want to get through that game, and I want to finish it. If that doesn't work, the backup plan is a lot worse, but it's basically that I will record the footage, and then Kyle and I will, commentate on the footage when we watch it, which won't really mean, it won't be necessarily my blind reactions, but it'll be his blind reactions, and again, if I can't do it the way I want to, that will be the backup plan. The backup plan is that I'll just, start it solo. And I really don't want to disclude Kyle from it, but that's where we stand. But obviously, that has nothing to do with Persona 5, most of you don't care. Third and final point, before I get started, is that there were some of you that were asking about if I watched EVO and the BlazBlue announcement. I did not see that, because I don't usually keep up with BlazBlue, but enough people ask, I went and watched and was not surprised to see that, needless to say, if Triarch was doing it, I wasn't surprised they were still working with the Persona license. And I'm interested but confused. I don't know if this is a canonical game. If it does have any bearing on the Persona 4 story, I'll play it, because I play all the Persona stuff. And I'll probably play it regardless, but I don't know if I'll put it on the channel if it has nothing to do with a canonical Persona. But all of that aside, man, I just rambled for 4 minutes. Let's go to bed. Thank you, Morgana. I am bothered by the fact that you won't talk to me. God dang it, Cat! I wish you'd just talk to me. Why is the kitty avoiding me?
Hey, sis.
You just got back from your trip and you're already studying? How diligent.
She says that, coyly, but I absolutely would say something if she wasn't doing that.
I have souvenirs for you.
The principal of Shujin Academy has passed away.
Oh, wow. I mean, I already knew that, but I'm surprised that that's how she's finding out.
He suddenly stopped while crossing the road and was struck by a large vehicle. Death by external trauma.
I do have to wonder. Again, that I said this during the scene, but I don't know how you turn into someone without looking where you're going. I've never driven a big rig like that, but it just seems a little bit implausible.
They say suicide seems to be a strong possibility.
Principal Kobayakawa committed suicide?
I think this may be the first time in the entire game they've actually pronounced his name out loud. I've seen it before.
But would someone about to kill themselves try to go to the police station?
Oh, I did not actually put together that was right outside the police station before.
He even used a taxi to get there.
Do you mean this might be another incident?
It certainly sounds like it.
Even if he had a sudden shift in his state of mind, it's still unnatural.
It's very unnatural. And again, I wonder if the Phantom Thieves are really a pin for this, because I've been noticing our popularity has been going up for no real reason, and it bothers me.
I can only suspect that he had a change of heart.
Are you saying he was targeted by the Phantom Thieves?
That seems... I mean, I can understand how the public at large might think that. I don't understand how someone like Sai thinks that. Because every person that's actually been targeted by the Phantom Thieves, A, had a calling card, which Kobayashi didn't have, and B, didn't get killed by it. You know, this is a completely... This is the, like... I don't know what their term for it is. I call it... It's basically the new version of the apathy syndrome. And that was going on before the Phantom Thieves started, but they seem related, but to say... If she actually... Granted, I'm putting words in her mouth, which is bad. But if she actually is like, yes, there's a Phantom Thieves, I'm like, there's no reason to think that the Phantom Thieves' MO is very different than this.
But that's impossible!
How are you so certain?
Well...
There's a good answer for this, because the MO doesn't match.
In prior cases, the changes of heart seem to be done to make people confess their crimes.
There, good. I'm glad she recovered.
It's hard to explain, but this incident seems contradictory to their usual modus operandi.
Did Principal Kobayakawa seem any different to you lately?
I also have to wonder... Because here's the other thing. If Principal Kobayakawa decided to confess to the police, weren't they talking to him, like, all week? Why did he decide to go to the police station right then?
I don't really know. He rarely contacted the students, after all.
I see. Could something have happened during the school trip? Oh, you're studying. I'm sorry to bother you.
I also think it's interesting that Sai didn't comment at all on Makoto's very valid point that the MO doesn't match.
Makoto?
Hmm?
Never mind, it's nothing.
I'm pretty sure Sai probably suspects something. But also we know from the, the interview that she was vehemently denying it whenever we told her. Although at the same time, I think that may be like a impulse reaction.
Just don't get dragged into trouble, okay?
Yep, I figured she probably suspected something.
This is bad. I'd better tell the others.
It's interesting, if I'm at 81%, I don't know how long this game goes. I guess I am actually in the 9th month, so we should actually have at least 3 months to go if prior games are any indication. I'm so worried about my social links. It's the first time at school in a while. Weren't we at school, like, on Tuesday? Like, we were just gone for a week. It's funny, we come back from school from summer vacation, and then go on a trip, like a weekend, and now he's saying, man, we were almost never at school. I'm so sleepy. You have your jet lag? Whoa. For real? That was quick. Oh yeah, never mind. Did you know about this? Phantom Thieves are popular. I was surprised when we got back to Japan. I should pay attention to who we're going to target next. Ain't it amazing? I'm getting really psyched, but this is where we work hard. Let's do something big again. Surprise the world. Oh, I'm sorry. Ryuji's voice isn't quite right. My posture is completely different because we're having to record. Because, yeah, right now, I am, the movers came, and the only thing in my apartment right now is, my computer stuff, a couch, and a bed. Because I'm sleeping here tonight, and so I, don't have my normal setup at all. Huh? What about class? There's another urgent assembly. Is it true he died? He was really taking some heat. Well, what's happening to school? Are we cursed? I do have to say, Shujin has been through shitjin this game. Holy crap. Like, I thought it was bad in Persona 4 where the teacher was
This
killed
has to
early
be
up.
about you know what, right? With the principal.
Well, obviously that's what it's about. Come on.
We will now begin the emergency morning assembly.
And I think his name's Vice Principal. He's someone that's never even appeared in the game before, and they didn't even bother giving him a name.
As many of you may already know, Principal Kobayakawa passed away yesterday.
But you're still a Vice Principal, because we haven't had a board meeting to confirm.
I wonder if that suicide rumor's for real. It happened in front of the police station, didn't it? I think I was passing through there at the time.
How are you passing through? Oh, I guess it was only our class that went to Hawaii, isn't it? So yeah, that makes sense.
The principal had been working hard to restore peace ever since the incident with Mr. Kamoshida.
Not really. He asked Makoto to figure stuff out and then just left it alone.
He only wished for everyone to be able to lead a normal school life. And because of that love,
I am so not paying attention. I don't know why. For some reason, I just saw the gossiping suit in the back and then, you know, a bunch of white shirts, and I was just thinking this was a generic assembly. And then all of a sudden, I happen to notice Makoto standing there, and I'm like, wait. There's Alan, there's Ryuji, oh, there I am. I don't know how I missed them, because they've got all, well, except for me, they've all got on colors that make them very distinctive.
Love? Bullshit, he was covering something up. Everyone's been talking about it.
I love his name is Large Bell Student.
Maybe it wasn't suicide. Do you think the Phantom Thieves took him down?
I figured that that would happen.
The Phantom Thieves? Do they kill people?
I mean, Kamoshida did say he was gonna kill himself to make up for everything he did.
That would be amazing. Either way, it serves that principal right.
That's actually a really good point I hadn't thought about, because, yeah, Kamoshida definitely did threaten to kill himself. And so, if it's suicide, it could be that, you know, the principal, like, came to terms with everything he'd been doing, and it wasn't the Phantom Thieves drove him to suicide, it was that the realization pushed him to suicide. The Phantom Thieves just caused him to realize it. Now, obviously, we know that's bullshit, but it's not a bad theory.
Hell no. We didn't do jack shit.
Ryuji, shut up!
Are people gonna blame us for this, too?
On! My god, people. Worst secret agents ever.
I would like to see everyone live up to our late principal's wishes as proud Shujin students. And
I will tell you right now, like, none of the people in this game are going to get to join the Shadow Council, or whatever it's called, the Persona 3 group, because none of them can manage to keep their, like, be on the down low, and the Shadow Council kind of has to be. I was wondering when Sai would ask you about this.
I had noticed traces of tampering. Does that mean you truly took the data from my laptop?
Oh wow, that is not what I expected her to talk about.
No matter how I think about it, that would have been impossible unless Makoto was helping you. But she would never do something so foolish.
I wonder why she's bringing this up now. This feels like it should be a follow-up to the revelation about Makoto, but that was a while ago.
And is it true that you were completely uninvolved with the Kobayakawa case?
Well, not completely. The Kobayakawa case happened because of what we did with Kobayashi, but other than that, yeah, had nothing to do with it. I'm just gonna say it's true. I'm not going to...
What does this mean? But I suppose targeting someone at Shujin again and actually taking their life would be nonsensical.
It certainly would. And not even just targeting someone at Shujin, just taking life is not what the Phantom Thieves do.
I have no reason to believe everything you've said.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I guess you have no reason to believe it, but you have no reason to disbelieve it either. Nothing I have said is contradictory.
However, it seems you aren't the type of person who would lie just to protect themselves. I will acknowledge what I must. It's more efficient that way.
I was gonna say, that's... Granted, I'm not a police inspector, at least not in this life, but I do feel like whenever talking to someone, you should take what they say at face value until you find evidence that they are lying. If you just go through assuming everything you hear is a lie, you can't actually solve anything. Judge rank 4. And again, that's the thing. I worry about how close I am to the end of the game, and then Sai, who I feel like, you know, is one of the ones that progresses automatically, is only at rank 4, so...
Alright.
I just don't know, guys. And I don't really want to know. Don't tell me how close I am.
In any case, let's move on to the topic at hand. If you saw my investigation data, you would have had the same suspicions I did about Okumura. And if you looked into his palace, you should have seen the answer to those suspicions. Tell me, what did the Phantom Thieves do to Okumura? What did you learn from him?
Well, assuming Okumura is the next palace, you already know what we did. We gave him a change of heart.
Why did it turn out as it did? I need you to tell me everything.
I'm actually really curious. The fact that why it turned out as it did. Okumura. Wow, we just skipped the afternoon. Why?
Before we talk about the data we got from Sis, we need to discuss the incident with the principal.
I mean, like, I knew the scene would happen. I knew I wouldn't be able to hang out with people necessarily today, but it's odd that it just skipped straight over afternoon for no reason. Although I guess we did get that scene whenever they got back from school, so potentially it took that long for Makoto to get over here, but still, what were we doing after school? It just feels like a gap.
People are already talking about it online.
Yeah, we're getting blamed for this.
Nobody's saying it's because of the Phantom Thieves. So far.
Oh, okay, we're not being blamed for this.
People think he did it because that tabloid exposed how he was covering up Kamoshida's abuses.
Could it be that we're responsible for Principal Kobayakawa's suicide?
Again, this is one thing, and it comes up a lot, and I'm sure people do in fact think this way, but I've never really understood the mindset of someone who says, oh, someone made a decision I didn't like based on a situation that I was not uninvolved in, therefore it's my fault. And I'm like, people make their own decisions, you can't blame yourself.
What do you mean?
If we hadn't changed Kamoshida's heart, maybe this never would have happened.
But then Kamoshida would have kept doing what he did if we didn't go and take him down.
There's a lot of opinions online. It's only natural that he died. Covering up crimes is wrong.
I didn't actually see Futaba's laptop for a second. I thought maybe she just like had a photographic memory and was just like citing off the things she'd seen online.
The comments I've seen are similar as well. Only the Phantom Thieves are on our side. I wish the Phantom Thieves would take down the police and the politicians of this country.
Except for our friend.
It's not just the news. There's even Phantom Thieves merchandise now. I never expected we'd end up such a big deal.
Ryuji did. Ryuji was counting on it.
It seems like the public would rather believe in us than in the adults. People are trying to get the Phantom Thieves to solve societal problems, not just personal ones.
This is kinda scary.
A little bit, actually, yeah.
Are we really doing the right thing?
Of course we are. Maybe. Probably. Potentially.
I mean, the principal was covering stuff up, right? I guess he got what was coming to him.
I mean, again, it was his choice as far as we know, although it's his choice as far as they know. We, as the players, know it was the man in the black mask and the other metaverse user, which is the same thing, actually.
Whoa, guys, let's get back on topic. Weren't we going to discuss the data we obtained from Nijima?
You tell them, Inari.
How does Inari know?
Why me?
More like how me.
First, Prosecutor Nijima has been looking into the continued cases of people suddenly collapsing.
Yeah, that seemed... I feel like that's where we should have started, actually, since that's exactly what happened.
It seems she is searching for a common thread to tie them all together. Some parts seem to be speculation, but she has cited a beneficiary of the majority of these incidents.
Interesting. Like the same beneficiary?
The corporation Okumura Foods. More prominently, its CEO, Kunikazu Okumura.
Interesting. So I didn't figure... I feel like this is a red herring, because If that's the case, then Okumura is directly tied to the metaverse user, in which case we should be very close to, like, concluding the investigation, and we're not that close yet.
Okumura? I feel like I've heard that.
Yeah, we
name
were just
somewhere.
talking about it in Hawaii. Man, how drunk did you get, Ryuji? I know we didn't drink.
From Big Bang Burger.
Big Bang Burger? For real?
You know, they only got famous sometime in the past few years.
And I keep going there and taking their damn challenge.
They even had a branch in Hawaii.
It says here they benefited both from scandals and the resignations of their competitors' executives.
That would seem to be the case.
So that's who keeps collapsing for the most part?
This is too suspicious, though. Only one CEO is profiting from these seemingly accidental incidents.
And that it's not consistent either, for the very simple reason that, I mean, like the guy that, you know, that was driving the monorail passed out. How did that guy wasn't a CEO? Was there just happened to be a CEO on board?
I think it's natural to suspect he's intentionally causing them.
I get that, but still.
We have even more evidence than that. Tell them, Futaba.
I love how Morgana took over.
I already tried putting Okumura's name in the nav. He has a palace for sure.
That settles it then. He's totally our next target.
That's right. Okumura is at the top of the rankings after all.
Which also surprises me, because I wonder why the public dislikes him so much. Because everything they've tried so far is that Sai has a suspicion based on some, you know, different pieces of evidence that are not really clear, but she's figured out. So why is the public against him?
Hold on. That doesn't necessarily mean he's evil. If we jump into this too
I
carefully...
actually completely agree with Yusuke on this. Everyone else was a clear and present danger. Here we just have some suspicions.
Beyond that, this Phantom Thieves fad is unsettling.
Yeah, the excitement levels don't feel normal. We might want to let things calm down a bit first.
Interesting. Are we being goaded into action?
You too, On? You're just gonna go against what people want?
Hey, just because people want something doesn't mean it's right. I mean, look at the president. Oh, I'm sure I've got some, you know, fans that are going to be very upset I said that. I'm sorry. What I'll say in my very brief discussion of politics is that I understand why people voted for the president, but I'm frustrated that he's not living up to what he said he would be in the campaign trail. You know, I didn't vote for him, but I understand based on what he campaigned under why people did, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Huh? No, but...
For real?
Looks like we're not gonna agree today then.
That's interesting. We just stopped discussing because two people... Although, again, here's my issue. Can't we go to the palace and find out, you know, try and find out what the palace is? Because just because we identify a palace doesn't mean we have to, you know, resolve it and have to change his heart. And I feel like the investigation into finding out what his palace is would inevitably also lead to finding out, you know, whether he's evil.
Sheesh, some team you are. What's with all the hesitation? I can't stand this.
Well, I mean, that's not how I would approach it, Morgana, but again, the act of finding the palace should resolve our uncertainty.
Even you, Ryuji. You just back down the second someone disagrees with you.
Morgana, calm down. I do want to know, I kind of know why he's so at edge, but he's really refocusing his internal frustration at the other people that he's allied with.
What?
I guess all you've been talking about is using the Phantom Thieves' name to pick up girls anyway. Being hyped up because of the popularity is fine, but getting conceited over it is unacceptable.
Hey, aren't you acting for your own benefit here too?
Wow. Ryuji didn't even deny it. He's like, I'm trying to get girls, so what? Come at me, bro.
My appearance might have changed, but I'm still an admirable human.
I love how he keeps saying that like it's true. I am almost absolutely convinced at this point that Morgana's not human.
At the very least, I'm more admirable than some carnal blonde monkey.
Seriously, what? Again, I understand why Morgana is acting this way, but it just seems so completely out of character. It almost feels forced. But thankfully they have done a lot to set up just how uneasy he is and how much he really, really wants to push forward. I feel like for Morgana right now, standing still is, you know, just lets him focus on his problems, and so he desperately has to push forward.
You little...
Fine. I can take on some small-time target like Okumura on my own.
And you can't.
Sorry, but it looks like I'll be getting the credit for solving the mental shutdown mystery.
Well, she was more useful than you, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he's so bothered.
Hey, that's inexcusable! I'm going to show you who the useless one actually is.
Alright then, bring it on!
God dang, you're gonna get Morgana killed.
Ryuji, stop!
Looks like I don't belong here after all.
Ryuji just got goaded by a cat.
Well, this is goodbye.
Yeah, what's gotten into you?
Morgana, wait!
See you.
I bet he's back in no time.
I doubt it. I bet we'll have to find him in Okumura's palace.
Damn it!
I wonder if... No, never mind. I was going to ask if I had gotten Morgana's confidant level higher, if that scene would have played out any differently, but then you can't actually work on Morgana's confidant level, so I rejected that pretty quick. I'm human. I have to be. Alright, I managed by myself before. I can do it again now. I just need to take down Okumura before those guys do. Kitty. Huh? Is that Kitty?
I can't believe this. The public believes in the justice of the Phantom Thieves. They have no interest in that principle.
Well, no, it's a fad. Everyone's focusing on it.
I'm experiencing equal levels of frustration. My comments on TV turned everyone against me. Then again, I won't allow mere criticism to break my spirit so easily.
This may be why I don't like Akechi, because every time he talks, he's either talking about himself, like, look at that. She's talking about the case, and he's immediately like, oh, let me tell you about my problems. And then the other times he talks, he's just making kind of tasteless jokes, in my opinion. At first I thought, I didn't even know that they were necessarily jokes.
We won't keep letting ourselves be defeated either. My suspicion after the hacker's case last month is now conviction, thanks to the principal's death. The mental shutdown cases and the psychotic breakdowns are surely the Phantom Thieves' doing.
It's interesting that you've linked those, because I don't feel like you have the evidence to do so. Though, that said, I absolutely feel like you have the evidence to think that they are linked, but you're making the classic mistake of equating causality, or, God dang it. I've forgotten, there's an old term in science that says that correlation does not equate causality. For some reason I was like companionship, I was like, it's a C word, what is it?
I remember the data you showed me about Okumura foods. Is that the basis for these beliefs?
So you think Okumura is the Phantom Thief?
There have been frequent occurrences of mental shutdowns surrounding Okumura recently. If only there was a clear connection between him and the Phantom Thieves.
I mean, you can act against Okumura without establishing that connection. They might be different people.
Well, it would be problematic if there wasn't one.
So, you're jumping the gun here. You really told a man you would terminate his parental authority based purely on your speculation? I'm surprised you would say such a thing to the owner of a cafe you frequent.
I'm not... Does she frequent the cafe? I've only seen her there once, and that was on official business.
It's all for the sake of the case.
Man, I feel like she is fixated on this way more than she should be. Like, she's... At this point, up until now, Sai has always struck me as someone who is diligent, you know, very, very nose to the ground, and work-focused. But she's actually allowing her emotions, or letting something, I don't know if it's her emotions or not, she's letting something cause her to make logical, fallacies and just pushing this line of thinking even though the evidence doesn't support it.
You may have the backing of the SIU's director, but you've been far too aggressive, Sai-san.
See, that line is something that if Akechi had more of those, I would actually like him a lot more. Maybe it's just the way he starts every scene that's just a little bit abrasive, because I really like that line. Because the voice actor both communicates, you know, his, like, kind of lower level of concern. Like, he's worried about her.
You're trespassing into police territory. Don't say nobody warned you if this becomes an issue later.
And he just ruined it. I'm really worried about you, so if this blows up later, just remember I told you so.
My superiors told me the same thing.
We first need to know what methods the Phantom Thieves are using. The police can't make a move unless that becomes apparent, after all.
This opponent can't be caught by following the rules. What need is there to stick to formalities?
So, you wish to ignore protocol in order to reform society?
Wow, he looks really mad, and frankly that makes sense based on who he is.
I hope you realize that's no different than what the Phantom Thieves are doing. It's a shame. Especially since we both want to capture the culprit behind the
Oh wow, is Akechi breaking up with her? I know they're not dating, but they've kind of been confidants for a while.
I'm really messed up.
Shall we dispose of it?
Leave it be. We do not have time to waste on a solitary feline.
Wait, what? That is not how shadows act at all. Is this a dream?
Is this really impossible alone?
Yeah, that's why you have a team.
How horrible!
Wait, is that the weird girl?
See who's there?
Was that just like an... Is this not the Shadow World then? I can't tell if that's her or not. It almost looked like her hair was the wrong color. Well, we'd never have to get in and save Morgana, like, toot sweet.
Morning.
Hey, have you seen Morgana? Yeah, I'm worried. Me too. I kinda just expected to come home when he got hungry. Oh, maybe he went to someone else? Let's ask. Morgana's still not back. Huh? He hasn't come home yet? The food's still in his bowl. Do you think he really just took off just like that? Well, he's a cat, so it's possibly got into an accident. He really seems like the type that would go off and die on us like that, though. And it's just been one day. Y'all are worrying way too much. Probably just off doing his own stuff. I mean, he used to live alone, remember? Just don't worry about it. I'm sure he'll come back if something happens. Aren't they being too cold about this? Oh well, have a good day.
There's no one like the Phantom Thieves.
I don't bet our principal's death was an accident. I think the Phantom Thieves killed him. I think the Phantom Thieves worried him? But why? Let's think about Kamoshida's victims. Principal's just guilty for keeping quiet about it all. People taking advantage of others for their own personal gain need to disappear. In fact, we need a scumbag cleansing to purify the world.
That's disappointing.
Yesterday, my wife threw one of my books without asking me. The Okamura Way. It was even signed. With his logical management skills, he revived the company that was on the verge of bankruptcy. He then started a Big Bang Burger, a cold and creative venture. Okamura's words, the philosophy of life itself. How could she sell that at a second-hand shop? But in times like these, getting one's mind to switch gears is key. Wouldn't you agree, Fukutsu-kun?
Do you know the answer?
Second-hand shops are also known as thrift stores. Do you know when the earliest ones appeared? I have no idea how I would know that. I would guess the 18th century? The 19th century, I was wrong.
Very good.
They were mostly run by religious and charitable organizations, of course. But larger businesses can donate unused stock to them, and use it as a tax write-off that way. It takes incredible business acumen to figure out how both profitable and charitable at once. Oh, I'm starting to get charm? No, still knowledge.
Alright.
But I just remembered. There are rumors that President Okumura may be getting into politics. It's true the current administration is incumbent in a number of ways. Interesting. So that's the future president that he was talking to earlier. I'd love to have a charismatic man like him lead the country. Hey, come straight home when school's over, okay? We're gonna wait together in case Morgana comes home. Anyway, come straight home. I wonder what's up with Morgana, though. He should just hurry and come back. Yeah, it sucks that Morgana doesn't have a cell phone. I mean, I know why he doesn't, but...
Intruder, after them. Where did they go? We must find them.
Interesting. Is that the... That must be the master.
Another one has been located. Be on guard.
Are we breaking into, like, a Dalek facility?
There are 2 of them. Divide and pursue.
Intruders discovered. Commencing pursuit protocol.
Well, there's definitely another Persona user. I wonder how this happened when we weren't involved.
Mona's still not home.
I'm sure he'll come back when he gets hungry.
On to our next story. Late last night, multiple glass windows were found shattered at the Okumura Foods corporate headquarters.
Interesting. Why? I love the way Futaba sits. Yep, obviously.
Other damages have also been reported, including the destruction of a statue depicting Mr. Okumura.
Wonder if someone's got a grudge against that guy.
But it certainly sounds like it. Apparently a lot of people do if he's #1 in the rankings, which again, I don't know why.
However, there were no signs of a break-in. Identifying the culprit is expected to be difficult.
You think Mona charged him there by himself? I don't know why I would say why do you say that, because we knew he was going to after Okumura. Yeah, he may not seem like it sometimes, but he's totally capable cat when he wants to be. Either way, let's go to Okumura's palace tomorrow. I'll contact everyone. Wonder why Sojiro got... Like, actually, I guess she does talk rather than text most of the time. Morgana went into Okumura's palace. Is that true, Futaba? Well, he did say he'd do it alone. Does that mean he's in danger? The chances of that are highly likely. Yeah, we should all go in after him. The palace most likely the corporate headquarters. I'll look into it a little bit more. Alright, let's do it! We're looking at those middle shutdown things, too. I'd prefer a little more caution, but this is an emergency. Alright. Tomorrow, it's palace time once again. See you then, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in.
I should write something.
I'm giving the balance, but I'm standing on razor's edge now. What good for my life is